Yo, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got what Texas isn't telling you about Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning. Let's check this out.
The 2025 NFL draft is a ways away, but the college football season isn't. There are a few quarterbacks
about a month away from college football.
Carson Beck, Shadur Sanders, Jalen Milroe,
a few days away from college football 25.
He was a #1 recruit and has been good at Texas. He's bound for the pros next year and due for another big season. Ewers was born back on March 15th, 2003 in San Antonio, Texas. He played at Carroll High in Southlake, Texas, where his head coach was Riley Dodge, former Texas quarterbacks coach. As a sophomore, Ewers threw for 4,000 yards and 45 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. He was really good already. He missed time as a junior and had 2,442 yards and 28 touchdowns and led Southlake to the state championship game, but lost. Ewers then decided to skip his senior year and enroll at Ohio State. Quinn Ewers was the #1 recruit in the 2022 class.
So he was at Ohio State first.
24/7 sports composite rating, the first quarterback since Vince Young to do so. He committed to Texas in August 2020, but decommitted about 2 months later. Then in November, he committed to Ohio State. It was an insane recruiting class for the Buckeyes. Ryan Day also got the #2 recruit in the country, defensive lineman JT Tuimoloau.
Oh yeah, this nigga's a dog, bro.
Including defensive lineman Jack Sawyer, offensive lineman Donovan Jackson, wide receiver Emeka Ibuka, and running back Travion Henderson, who actually got to cover when he was at Hopewell High. It was a heck of a class, but Ewers was buried on the depth chart. CJ Stroud was the starter, Kyle McCord, the Buckeyes 2023 starter, and now at Syracuse, he was the second string, and Jack Miller was the third string. Ewers only took 2 snaps all season at the end of a win against Michigan State. 2 months later, he transferred. Quinn Ewers was once again perfectly rated as a transfer, but wasn't #1. He was #2 behind reigning Heisman winner Caleb Williams, who went from Oklahoma to USC. Then at 3 and 4, some notable names: Jordan Addison from Pitt to USC with Caleb, and Jahmyr Gibbs from Georgia Tech to Alabama. Ewers went to who he grew up a fan of and originally committed to Texas, where he played for Steve Sarkisian. Sarkisian coached Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, and Mark Sanchez at USC, Jake Locker at Washington, Matt Ryan with the Falcons, and Tua Tagovailoa and Mac Jones at Alabama. He knows how to coach quarterbacks, and maybe Ewers is the next good Sarkisian product. Ewers was the Longhorn starter in 2022, with 4-star Hudson Card backing him up. I saw Card, who transferred to Purdue, beat Virginia Tech last season after what was the longest delay in college football history at 5 hours 27 minutes.
Damn.
Year 1 in Austin, there was so much hype around
It was because of a thunderstorming or some shit?
Season opener versus Louisiana Monroe. Ewers had
Bro,
some
why is it
struggles,
lagging so
but had
much?
flashes. Then the next week, it was time for #1 Alabama.
I think that's on his part.
Young versus Quinn Ewers, but not for long. Ewers suffered a sprained clavicle.
This game had me fucking heated, bro, because there's no fucking way we should have been playing that bad in this
during
game.
the first quarter. Texas led late, but a Bryce
Bryce Young showing off that magic, nigga.
10 seconds remaining for a 20.
Bryce is still good.
Tide.
Like, I don't know why so many people are writing him off already in the NFL.
Texas beat UTSA in West Virginia with an overtime loss to Texas Tech in between. Texas was 3-2 when Ewers returned for an Oklahoma matchup, and it was the Sooners without the starter. Dylan Gabriel had a concussion. Texas smoked OU in the Red River rivalry 49.
OU got that revenge next season.
Had a season high 4 touchdowns and an interception. He threw 3 touchdowns without a pick. Then Ewers had a rough outing, throwing 2 touchdowns but 3 interceptions in a loss to #11 Oklahoma State. It started a stretch of 3 straight
losing to Oklahoma State is crazy.
The Longhorns beat #13 Kansas State 2 weeks later, but then lost to #4 TCU on November 4th, 17-10.
Oh, this was back when TSU was good.
17 of 39.
That fluke ass season.
No touchdowns. Texas got right with back-to-back wins over Kansas and Baylor and played in the Alamo Bowl. It was against Washington, so Quinn Ewers versus Michael Penix. Penix got the best of Ewers, and it foreshadowed the next season too. Ewers was good year one with Texas. He had 2,177 yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. Texas lost a couple of big-time running backs to the NFL draft, to Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson, but the Longhorns were fine. Jonathan Brooks was still there. Add freshman running back CJ Baxter, and Georgia.
He should pop off this year.
Mitchell to pair with Xavier Worthy and tight end Jatavion Sanders.
And they lost all 3 of those guys this year.
Like 5-star Arch Manning. Ewers did miss 2 games, but it was Malik Murphy, now at Duke, who started. He won against BYU and number 23 Kansas State in overtime.
So his injury's gonna be his problem, though. That's the scary part.
Pick in the first 2 games of the season.
Because like his know what I'm saying, first 2 seasons starting, he got hurt both seasons. So hopefully injuries are not gonna be a huge problem in his career.
At Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, this game had me heated too.
Won the next 3-2 against Wyoming, Baylor, and number 24 Kansas. Texas suffered its first loss, 34-30 to number 12 Oklahoma. The Red River rivalry. Gabriel actually played that game, and Oklahoma just looked like a completely different team with him. I mean, he's going to be really scary at Oregon this season. Texas did respond by beating Houston, but Ewers suffered a shoulder injury during the win. He returned for the last 3 regular season contests. Texas beat TCU, Iowa State, and Texas Tech. Texas made the Big 12 championship, and Ewers tossed a season-high 4 touchdowns plus an interception.
Yeah, they fucked up OSU.
49-21 victory. Ewers had a Big 12 championship record, 452 yards. Texas was the number 3 seed in the college football playoff. The Longhorns were matched up against Washington for the 2nd straight postseason. Ewers didn't turn the ball over, and he had a touchdown, but Washington won 37-31. Ewers had a fantastic year, 3,479 yards, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He was 2nd team All Big 12. He's only a red shirt junior, but a jump to the NFL is on the horizon. Ewers has missed time in both seasons at Texas. If he does now, it'll be Arch Manning replacing him, and everyone is anticipating his first collegiate start. His dad is Cooper Manning.
You know that place gonna be rocking, bro, once he step on the field.
Archie Manning. Arch, too, played at Isidore Norman in New Orleans, Louisiana. He started as a freshman and did all 4 years there. Eli had a record, 7,268 career passing yards. Peyton had a record,
and he almost failed.
Touchdowns. Arch broke both. He was great, which is why he was the number 1 recruit. There was plenty of Ole Miss buzz and talk about Alabama or Georgia, but Arch chose Texas. Arch was buried on the depth chart last season. He made his collegiate debut against Texas.
Arch probably wouldn't have. Well, he probably would have started for us last year because Miro got benched last year at one point.
He didn't transfer from Texas, even with Ewers the clear starter. Arch will get his time, but he probably needs Ewers to leave first. The 2025 NFL Draft has 3 big quarterback prospects for now. Carson Beck is arguably the best. He was a 4-star in the 2020 class, the number 5 pro-style quarterback. The 1 and 2 was actually DJ Uiagalelei and CJ Stroud. Beck had to wait his turn behind Stetson Bennett at Georgia and took over as the starter last season. The Bulldogs were good again. Georgia went 13-1 and only lost to Alabama in the SEC championship. Beck passed for 900 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, and rushed for 4 touchdowns. He showed a ton of talent. It's no wonder why he's a top quarterback.
Yeah, I used to hate on Carson Beck, but bro can actually ball out.
Sanders
I ain't gonna lie.
Probably the most interesting one. It always helps.
He's the most controversial quarterback for sure. Like, I've lost all respect for this nigga.
Seasons. He was a 3-star recruit.
For like after, you know what I'm saying, hearing all that news about him and Dion.
Jackson State. He had 70 touchdowns and 14 interceptions and 9 rushing touchdowns there. He transferred to Colorado to follow his dad. Shadur was a 4-star transfer, number 4 quarterback after Sam Hartman, Devin Leary, and Hudson Card. He had a great season for the Buffaloes last season, 3,230 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. He's a fun quarterback prospect for sure. Those are definitely the top 3 guys for now, but there are some other intriguing names.
Jalen
Riley
Milroe.
Leonard and Cam Ward are transferring transfers who could make a jump than some returners like Drew Alar and Jalen Milroe. Quinn Ewers is definitely top 3, but there's a lot of potential movement for him based on the season, whether it's up or down. Ewers has been good at Texas and had a collegiate career most expected. He's a top-tier quarterback and should be even better now. And once he does,
as long as he stays healthy, bro,
to make the ultimate move to the NFL.
Like if anything, you know what I'm saying, this is the time for him to stay healthy. The season where he's supposed to be going to the NFL next season, this is the time for him to stay healthy.
Will take over.
If he does, then you know he's definitely going to be a first round pick regardless. But if he stays, you know what I'm saying, healthy, that's gonna boost his draft stock up more. But I don't know what you guys think down in the comments below. Hope you guys enjoy it. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on post notifications, get notified whenever I drop another banger video. We're on the road to 300 subs. Time to get there for more banger college football content like this. So without further ado, I'm out. Gang.